friends, it's Miss Drywa. So for this video today, this lesson, we're going to be talking about compassion. So remember when we were in school and every month we would have a new character trait, right? And we would talk about it, we would do lessons on it, activities. We would, see what friends were demonstrating those character traits or, who was really trying. Well, now we're doing it in the summer as well. And last week you did tolerance with Miss Sheriff. And this week now we're going to be doing compassion. All right, so what is compassion? Well, before we even get to that, we're going to take it back another step and we're going to talk about the word briefly, empathy. Now, we have talked about empathy quite some time because that's what our whole socialization program was about. So when we were in school, we talked about empathy, and basically what we would always say is putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Now, friends, did that mean literally taking off my friend's shoes and putting them on my feet? No, I never took my shoes off and gave them to Miss Sheriff, right? But basically we're saying just try and understand how they're feeling, or how would you feel if you were in that situation, right? So let's get started. I have some clips also on your Google Classroom that I want you to watch. One of them being our extra fun song that we all loved, our empathy song, right? And then a Brain Pop Junior video, and then a worksheet, right? So let's get started. All right, so compassion, right? That's what we're focusing on today, and we'll get there. But first, I want to take it back a step to empathy. So empathy is putting yourself in someone else's shoes, like I just said. Again, not literally. We're not going to take someone else's shoes off and put them on our feet, right? If my sister is upset because she burnt her cookies, I'm not going to say, can I have your shoes, please? Can I wear them to understand how you're feeling? No, I'm just going to try and think, if I was making cookies right now and they burned, how would I feel? So we're trying to see how they feel about something. We're trying to understand it. That's empathy. All right? So when you're trying to understand how someone feels, or understanding how someone feels, if I, fall, right, and I hurt my knee, it wouldn't be nice if my sister said, "Oh, get up, you're fine," right? No, her empathy would be to try and understand, well, when I fell last week and hurt my knee, it hurt. I understand how you feel. Then we have compassion. And compassion is showing that you care for the needs of others and being supportive when someone is sad or hurt. So let's pretend my sister, her cookies are burnt. She's really upset and sad. My empathy is, I'm really sorry that you burnt your cookies. I understand how upsetting that is. That's my empathy. I'm showing her that I understand. I'm putting myself and seeing how she feels. Now my compassion is going to be, why don't we make a new batch together? Now I'm doing something to show that I care and I want her to feel better. I'm going to try and make her feel better. That's the compassion. All right, so let's look at a couple of examples together. So in this first example, it looks like a little boy fell and hurt his knee. So let's pretend we're out recess, we're on the playground, and someone falls and hurts their knee. Are you going to go over and say, "Get up, you're fine, you're faking it"? No, that's not showing empathy. First, you have to say to yourself, wait a minute. If I fell and hurt my knee right now, I would probably be crying too, right? So you run over and you tell them, "Oh no, I'm so sorry." And then you have to show compassion. Let me help you stand up. Let me go get a teacher for you. I can walk with you to the nurse. Are you okay? Now you're showing compassion. You're trying to help them. You're trying to make them feel better, right? You're doing something. The next example we have here, it looks like a little boy broke his car and he's really upset. To show empathy, you have to sit and wonder, he's really upset. I would be upset too if my favorite toy broke. Now we're going to show compassion and we're going to do something to make him feel better. That might be sharing your car. "Oh, I'm so sorry. Here, why don't you play with my car?" Right? Or if we're in school, maybe bringing it to a teacher and seeing if a teacher can fix the car for your friend. You're showing compassion, friends. You're showing that you care, that you want to help them feel better. You're trying to do something. Maybe this little girl up here is sitting by herself and none of her friends are going to play with her. Well, we're going to think to ourselves first. We're going to have empathy and say, oh, I wouldn't like it if nobody would play with me, right? That's not very nice. And now I'm going to show compassion and I'm going to go up to her and I'm going to ask her if she wants to play with me, right? I'm going to say, I see that you're so sad. I'm so sorry. Do you want to play with me? You're showing compassion. You're showing her that you want her to be happy. You want her to play with friends. I'm going to move myself over. Here we have a friend who's sick, and maybe he can't come to school because he's so sick. He has to stay in bed. We're going to show empathy and think to ourselves, oh boy, I was sick once and I didn't like it. It wasn't a fun time. I was very upset. My head hurt. I had a fever. I had to miss school. I was very sad. What can we do to show compassion to that friend? Well, he's not feeling well. Maybe we can make him a get well soon card. We can make a card and send it home to his mom or dad, and they can show it to him to show him that we care and we're upset that he's sick and we miss him and we want him to get better. We're showing compassion to our sick friend, right? And then we have up here, friends, we have a little girl who's upset, and here's a friend, right? Now, this friend doesn't know why she's upset, but when someone's upset, we have empathy because we don't like being upset. I don't like crying. I don't like being sad or hurt or in pain or anything. So I agree. Look, you could see she's showing empathy. You can tell that she's concerned. She's sad that she's sad. And maybe sometimes just being there for our friends and listening, being a good listener, telling them, I understand you're upset. Do you want to talk about it? And if they want to talk about it, just let them talk and be a good listener to them. Let them get it out and say, I understand. I'm so sorry. And then that's even showing compassion because you're showing that you care about them just by being a good listener. All right, friends, so we have empathy, which we have talked about since September. Empathy is just putting yourself in someone else's shoes, trying to understand how they feel. Or if you were in their situation, how would you feel? Right? I know if my favorite toy broke, I would not be happy. I know if nobody was playing with me at recess, I wouldn't be happy. I know if I was homesick and I had to miss school and I missed my friends, I wouldn't be happy. Then, compassion is saying, I understand how they feel. How am I going to make them feel better? I care about them and I want them to feel better. So how am I going to do this? I can make them a card. I can invite them to play. I can share my favorite car with them. All different things. So compassion, friends, is doing something to show that you care. All right? Great job, friends. Bye.